All right, welcome back. This is Black Lodge Trivia Nights actual play, Let's Play of Demon Souls. Last time, what did we do? We got through World 5, we've done World 4, we've done World 3 and 2. We've done 75% of World 1. Did I say 3? We didn't do 3 yet. Because that's what we're starting now. It's the Tower of Latria level. The first part is both one of my favorites and it's also very tricky. I tend to get turned around in this level and lose my path. So apologies in advance. You're probably going to see me getting lost. Can you open these now? So much hope going on. These enemies can be tough. I don't know if they can one-shot me now, but it was sort of frantic, but I don't know if you saw it shot out like this green bolt of energy. That green bolt of energy paralyzes you. And then it's actually kind of funny. Then it sort of wiggles at hyperspeed across the floor to grab your stunned body and stab it through. Now, early on, that can definitely one-shot you. I don't know what it does now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on this ring just because I'm going to be more in exploring mode unless I know exactly what spells I need to cast mode. So I think Mercury Stone is like for, like if you have a fire weapon maybe? Anyway, so the trick to this level is locked doors. There's tons of them. And I think it does something that the castle level does. Nope, there you go. You're going to see me get impaled. Didn't seem to kill me, though. This one will. Cheers. Anyway, and that's part of why I get so turned around and lost, because there's keys everywhere. There's a key in... There's a key like in 3-2 that you have to come back to 3-1 to use, sort of like how... Oh, there's a key right there. See, I ran right by it. Yeah, they're not easy to see. Just the way, like in 1-3, there's a key that you then go use in 1-2 right at the end that lets you advance 1-3. Yeah, this one's going to start letting me... I don't know if these guys attack you. They do. I guess they've gone mad from all the hope. He doesn't attack you, but will he? Somebody is. Now, the trick with opening these, like, probably not much point in opening these that I can think of. Because now what's going to happen is every time I run down this hall, I actually have to engage with those prisoners. So, I mean, not that it matters too much either way, right? But yeah, what I was saying last time is that this particular level, it throws me because, again, I get turned around and lost, but it remains one of my most favorite Souls levels ever. Souls levels ever. I don't know if I said that right. It's again because, like, again, the Souls, like, I'm not, as I've said before, like, I don't play Souls games, you know, to prove just how good I am at video games, because clearly I'm not. It's all about the way these games capture atmosphere, environmental storytelling, etc., that I've droned on about forever. And this level, while not having the castle level in this game, try and make sure not to get double tapped by that thing again. The castle level in this game, I feel like, not only nails the ambience, but it also I guess trying to go for the hard stab last time was too slow. The castle level in this game nails the ambience, and it also is an extremely, I think, for my money, well-designed level. This one doesn't have the same design cleverness, or I don't know what the word is I'm trying to use here, but it doesn't capture that, like, where you're like, this feels more like it's just an atmospheric level. The design itself is like, oh, find like 5 keys that unlock, and you're like, okay, what am I doing? Is there a way for me to, like, lower him? I keep thinking, like, these can I shoot him? I keep thinking, like, these are like pull chains that I can do something with. Oh, there you go. Okay. No other jailers here. I feel bad doing this, but he's going to come at me from behind, I think, so. There's another jailer. As you can see, if you can get the jump on them, they're not that bad, but got like a mind flayer. Again, like the thing I was saying yesterday was a bit of Cthulhu, but so the way to tell, like, the keys are going to be on like these little rings, and they glint a little bit. But I 100% miss them half the time as I run by, and I do that even when I when I'm not talking as I go. They tend to be at the end of hallways, next to staircases. That feels like a trap. You can't actually drop down. So it's always good to sort of check, like, sections of wall like that, just to make sure you haven't. Okay, so that's where I came from. So now we need to go around the horn here. There's a key. Now the keys, there's no indication of like, use this key to open this door. You just sort of have to fumble around a little bit. Actually, that's not true. One was the cell key, so it makes sense. What was the other one called? Was it a door key? So the main thing we're trying to do is we're trying to make our way down, I believe. But I also believe you can get... There's a part of this level I thought you can get to the roof, or maybe it's like if you glitch through the geometry, but I thought that was possible. Okay, so we've gotten a cell key and a door key, so now we're going to try backtracking. Try flanking, I guess, this dead body. All right. Okay, so yeah, now we're back in the initial part of this level. And maybe there's a door we can... Maybe not. Or did I not... So there you go. There's where we start. I think we had to make the rounds. 3F key. Okay. So you can see, I mean, that's not like... I mean, again, not that, you know, World 1-1, you go up the tower the long way just so you can come down the tower the short way. But it felt organic in a way. That this feels like... But this doesn't really. Now you gotta be careful with these things. I'm gonna open it. I'm probably gonna have something attack me or... Okay. Not seeing a jailer. Okay, that one Needs a different key. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were actually corpses in the pots. I didn't think they were alive when I rolled into them. That guy looks like he's a mage of some sort. Not just a typical prisoner. Or maybe they're... Oh, assassin. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we can cut through that prison cell. Wonder what this does. Looks like it's much better against poison, and it's a little bit lower against everything else. I don't know by how much. Equip burden's lower though. Again, by how much I don't know, but half a pound. And it's only a hair worse, but it's significantly better at poison. Probably could have used that in the last level. I don't know if there's more poison. Kind of looks cool. Although that feels very, you know, April 2020. Just realized how dumb my face looks. In game. In real life, I've known for decades, but in game... did I do a man bun? I know when I was creating the character I said I don't care, but I seem to have done a man bun. So I apologize for that. Alright, so okay, so I think we came around the horn. One of the gates wasn't openable. This one's locked, but we can cut through a jail cell. And there's a jailer on the other side of that broken wall. So okay, let's keep going. Gonna have to keep drinking or else I'm gonna lose my voice. Yeah, I knew there was one where you get attacked. Alright. Especially, you know, I was about to say first thing in the morning. It's not first thing in the morning. It's 11 a.m., but I was up pretty late last night. And I should have slept in more. I did not. So we got now a level 4 cell key and a general key. So Let's see if we can now use that to open up the one cell we couldn't. And maybe we can now open up this gate here, which I know... Gotta be careful because there's a jailer right there. Luckily, I guess he's not very good at his job. But before we go on, let's see if we can open up that one jail cell. I mean, there must be other jail cells. I mean, I have the cell key for one door. Seems... The secret dagger. I know in Elden Ring, the claws weapons are considered pretty good. A lot of people, I don't know if they've been buffed in recent patches or something, or they just have insane bleed build up, but I feel like I've read that claws are really good for Elden Ring games. Alright, so... I know we ran... I apologize, I don't remember if we did everything we needed to do in the cell with the hole in the wall. Does it just let us cut through to get the key? Is there more to it that I just ignored? Somewhere here, maybe these messages, there's like a hole in the floor that's easy to miss. So you gotta be careful. Before we do that, let's just check on what's through the other side of that one metal gate. I think that's literally where we're heading. Can't tell. There's actually one of the things I really like about this level, and we might not get to it for a little bit. Oh, here's the singing. I'm going to stop for a moment.
You're still intact, aren't you? Where do you call home? Dear me, I shouldn't pry. Oh, perhaps you'd like something from my collection. I've known better days. I was once the wife of nobility, and I have some nice things to show for it. Before, there were many others trapped here, but they were driven mad and ventured above of their own volition. Redemption. There exists no such thing. The Queen banished that depraved old man from the land. He returned in strange golden garb with foul demons in tow. They pillaged great Latria, land of the learned. and shut us away in this prison. Since then, they've been feeding off our souls, telling us over and over that if we go above, we will be granted redemption. I know the truth. The church goddess may die, but never for long. We are trapped below forever. Redemption. There exists no such thing.
Okay, so I feel like we've kind of... Alright, so what do we got here? Now, the Moonlight Stone Shard, I think, is the shard we were needing to... When we were looking at our Uchikatana, one of the upgrade paths. And that's kind of cool, but... I'm just going to do that. Just to, you know, that way the souls, when I die, don't go to waste. It's kind of interesting, like, you know, she said I'm former nobility. Everything's in tatters, but she still takes a moment to, you know, lay out tomorrow's clothes. There's a certain properness that is so ingrained that you can't leave it behind, even in the worst of circumstances. I have a feeling this is going to be somebody... He's shooting the merchant? Okay, so I think this is the other side of that hole. So we've made it there. Let's check out the other side of... Nice little touches that I don't remember in the original, like, you know, before I started slashing him through the gate. I think one of them was, like, shivering, like clutching his arms around him to stay warm. So what's tricky about these things is that in order to open them, you have to lower your shields. And you can't get your shield up in time, I don't believe, because I tried to get my shield up as soon as I could at that last one. Now, I wonder if there's a way to tell, like, there's blood pooled at the bottom of this. Oh no, there was blood pooled at the bottom of that one. I was going to say maybe it's like the mimic chests in Dark Souls, where if you actually look, gives you a little clue, but interesting. What does that do? Okay. It's one of those like glass cannon kind of rings. Okay, so back on level 3. Nope. Oh, right, but yeah, there was this gate that we couldn't get around, so this is how you... So I believe this, if you get the key in 3-2 somewhere, it opens here. And he's an NPC. Can I not keep going down? Yeah. Okay, so we've covered... I mean, not maybe perfectly, but level 4, level 3. Now we're on level 2. So we're going to start looking for level 2 keys. Oh, are we level 1? I would have figured we're level 2 now. Yeah, okay. And again, it's one of those things where, like, maybe you have to go down to level 1 to go back up to level 2. It's just like that kind of stuff, you know. Whoops. So when I said I was up late last night, I was playing some more co-op Remnant. I don't know if I mentioned this. We dropped the difficulty down from basically the hardest level to the second hardest. I mean, the hardest level is basically Iron Man mode. One below that is the same level of difficulty without the Iron Man mode. And then the one below that is what we dropped it to, so things were a little bit easier. Enemies were slightly less bullet spongy, etc., etc. Game's gotten a lot more fun. We're in the jungle biome. There's one of the bosses there that's really hard because there's 2 of them. Oops. So that's where we've gotten to. Last night we sort of banged our heads against the wall trying to deal with the whatever that boss is. And I think we made some progress trying to figure it out, but we're a long way from beating it. Alright, that means there's another jailer somewhere. Now the bells in the original...
Well, you are a sane one, are you not? My name is Rydell. Please, liberate me from this jail. I have precious little time. I must retrieve an article from my corpse. As you can see, the only thing that remains of me is my soul. My corpse lies in another cell. I fancy it a fine, rotten mess by now. I've no interest in my corporeal flesh, but I left upon my person a keepsake of my late wife. I will soon fade into the beyond. My only wish is to do so near that token of my beloved. A retainer to the king once held the key to this cell. That foul pig with his gluttonous, swaying belly.
So I can't tell. Are they talking about one of the officials from level 1?
As you can see, the only thing that remains of me is my soul. My corpse lies in another cell. I fancy it a fine, rotten mess by now. I've no interest.
I was about to say, like, there's screaming that I remember distinctly from the original, and it's this guy screaming out in agony. And so it's sort of an interesting mix. You've got... First of all, we can't get to many of these cells, so somewhere out there, there's level 2 keys. But yeah, I distinctly remember the ambient soundtrack of this being the jailer bells, the haunting singing, and then that guy's haunting screams. And it just made for this perfect audio bed for what this place is. Which is like the most desolate prison I've ever seen in a video game. So that makes me wonder what he was saying, like... Okay, somehow this guy got out. So a couple things. Rydell, I believe, is one of the heroes they talk about in the game's introduction as having been, like, went into the fog to try and blah, 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 and never came back. Again, that's something I'm going to be potentially incorporating a little bit into a possible Black Lodge Trivia Night homebrew world. Anyway, makes me wonder, did I miss something? Or maybe in World 1.4 there's an official, if that's actually what you need to do. I don't recall that, though. I feel like everything was pretty self-contained here. Anyway, so there's a creature here. Raises miracle power and casting time. Does that mean it's stronger but slower? Is that the idea? Anyway, yeah, I'm playing Remnant, and yeah, just dropping it down that level has made it way more fun for me. That's not much. Now here's the thing, you don't have to fight this thing, right? I think if you manage to beat it, I think if you do, it's gone. It probably gives you something worth. My fear is that this is a bad spell. Definitely seems to be something behind it. Nope. I've managed to pile up some fresh spice. That's good. But the reason why I was bringing that up is because I keep looking down at my controller again. It's the same thing where the buttons are just different enough that it throws me. Honestly, this is actually... I don't want to say it's going quickly, but if I can stop throwing into the wall. Oh, that guy's got the Dragon Bone Smasher sword just going to town there. It's probably not a bad way to go. All right. Whole 1,000 souls. Very nice. Age spec. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think they have creatures like that. You know, that was sort of like a rat king nest of prisoners, right? And I feel like in Dark Souls, there's like a similar kind of creature in. God, imagine if this was your cell. In the town that gets flooded, and I'm blanking on it. Like some of those, like the blobs that sort of shoot out the, you know, the exploding skulls, and they have like a couple of, they have like this goo they launch at you, etc., etc. I feel like maybe that takes some inspiration. It's just those souls would have been submerged in souls. Those bodies would have been submerged in water, so they probably would have. Oh, look at that. Probably partly liquefied. That's a good one, because I think that's definitely you're dead. So that they would become a little bit of a blob. Yeah, a lot of these Moonlight Stone shards. I wonder what... So the Moonlight Stone shards, right? They, I think, are used to create a certain kind of magical weapon. So I wonder what, like, the optimal path is. Say, like, magic is overpowered in these games, you know. I love this imagery. The, like, you know, it's interesting. I'm pointing, you know. So this person's got 4 arms, right? 2 to T-pose, 2 to hold the Bible. And as I was mentioning in the last session, I just finished an Elden Ring playthrough online. It's at all one word Trainwreck Games, but again, my future stuff is going to probably end up here. But the ending I got in that playthrough, not that it matters too much, is I went for the Ronnie ending. Ronnie. And one of the details I noticed about her is that she also, as sort of the mage, Raya Lucaria, whatever, she has 4 arms, and we're seeing it again here. So I don't want to say like it's all connected, but I wonder if there's like design principles in Miyazaki, uh, if there are connections on some level, if you know what I mean. Like, he pole arm, butt jokes. It can't be coincidence that he depicts the mages in that particular way. And I'm curious what the deep dive might be again. I know I've mentioned it when I was playing Elden Ring. For that kind of deep dive stuff, I tend to go to Duckfeed TV's Bonfireside Chat. They have done intensely thorough deep dives on every Souls game, and even like Souls likes, like I think like the Surge, Lords of the Fall. I believe they gave it the Bonfireside Chat treatment, where they go sort of moment by moment and talk about things. But the main ones though are the Souls games, because they are intensely deep dives, and beyond that, and here's another one. They bring in people that have other points of view, or about the lore or the gameplay. And I will say their Demon Souls podcasts, I don't know if they started with Demon Souls or Dark Souls and went back, but I think by the time I discovered them, it was after the fact. So I think I started with Demon Souls. Anyway, I'll try and, if I remember, I'll try and put a link in the notes below. Okay. But I should, like, fair warning, I guess. They are thorough. For me, that was a feature, not a bug. But if you're not looking for a very thorough discussion of just about every inch of these games, then that might not be for you. I was a big fan, though. And I also give them a lot of credit, so I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh, yeah, I was missing the doorway. Give them a lot of credit because they sort of formed like a podcast network, and not that every show is for me. I do subscribe for the moment. Okay, can you cut around? But I give them a lot of credit. They've have a genuine passion for the things they podcast about. There's some, nerd breadth to what they podcast about. So, they try and find things that, will appeal to different types of people. And they did it, right? Like whether or not you like their stuff or not, I mean, they they earn their living, as far as I know. So Mercury Raper, I think, is fire damage. You know, talking about the things that they are truly passionate about. Now, I don't know if, I mean, obviously I blather on with these things. I don't know if that would necessarily be for me. The thing I would be passionate about personally would be writing. If I could, you know, not that I need to even write the next great American novel. I would just, hell, just write like paperback mysteries, right? You know, I don't care. But I respect that a lot, that they were able to make that happen. So now, granted, my understanding, you know, I don't obviously know them personally. At the time they were getting this off the ground, I don't believe they were married. I don't believe they have children. There's a lot of things that get tricky. So you can, I think, take the low road to not have to deal with this death trap. The other thing that you can do, and this is one of the things I really like about this level, is, as I hold up an advertisement for Jesse, it's kind of, I don't know if this is, sometimes when I'm doing the podcast in the evening, I quote unquote treat myself with half tea, half lemonade, but for me it's very sweet, and I'm not looking to like pump my body full of sugar, diabetes, etc. This is actually just green tea. I reuse the bottles. But I'm a caffeine whore, and that helps me, know like, oh, okay, I've had like 32 ounces of tea, so that's good enough for now, and I won't get headaches. So anyway, what I was going to say is, obviously, how many souls do I have? You can get past this if you're good. I am not good. Prison of Hope Warden's Key. Interesting. So here's how you do it. I don't know if I can actually do it. Let me heal up. You roll through it. And it's just timing. I guess as you get closer, you do more damage, or I don't know, or maybe because I got hit. I feel like the first one killed me there, but as you can see, I mean, if you can, it's a doom. It's the same timing. It's not. And if you could just do it like 4 times, you're through. So now that I have the Warden's Key, I wonder what that might actually open. So here's part of the trick with this world, right? One, you got to backtrack all the way through. It's a complicated maze. 2, it all looks the same. So I couldn't tell you, oh, right, there was a door in 2F that I have no idea. So it just makes it very complicated. Makes it very easy to miss a lot of things. It's interesting. So, like, that one door was open. It doesn't look like you can ever open other doors like that. The heavy wooden ones. What am I doing on time? Last one ran a little long. I don't know. Again, I see people pump out 4-hour streams. Like, I have... At the same time, I've heard people say, like, if you get people watching more than 10 minutes of a stream, you're doing okay. Which seems crazy, but whatever. Can you just drop down here? That's gonna go badly. Am I dead? Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a couple things going on with 10 minutes from the little bit I haven't researched too much because on some level I don't care. Like, I hope if you are watching this that it's either good like, I'll listen to a lot of different things as background, so I hope this is good background noise, or, you know, I hope it's fun in some way. There's the other channel that the Trainwreck Games thing I was mentioning for Elden Ring. I actually started that for board games, war games, which I don't play enough of because it's tricky to get the time. It takes a lot of setup, and it's, you know, because I play so infrequently, you know, understanding the rules, and I have a million games, they're all different. So now if he tries to do the green thing, you can roll through it, which I failed to do there, I think. I might be dead now. Not that I like getting lit up by these guys, but I do appreciate their design, and I think that's very cool, sort of like Uber attack, where they, you know, stun you, pick you up by their, you know, Mind Flayer tentacles and run you through. I mean, is it fair to say, like, the Mind Flayer was inspired by Cthulhu? In my head, I'm seeing Cthulhu, I'm not seeing Mind Flayers as much. But it's hard to know where one ends and the other begins, maybe? I don't know. Anyway. But there's a guy that does, on YouTube, his name is Callendale. And he's, what his thing is he plays, like, basically start to finish games, and he sort of documents the entire process. Like, he'll do, like, an hour and 40-minute rules introduction, you know, then, like, I think he was just playing a game that probably took him hundreds of hours to play. And he documents it all. And there have been a couple of games where I've actually, you know, even though there might be like 50 or 60 hours, I watched it. Not on the edge of my seat, but, you know, if I had to do something like some paperwork kind of stuff, which is not too typical in my job, but comes up every now and then. It actually came up yesterday. I was kind of like, oh man. Which, it's not like a bad thing, but for somebody that almost never has to do it because it's not in my, like, workflow most of the time, when it comes up, you're just like, Anyway, but yeah, I've watched a few of the guy Callendale on YouTube. So the warden key doesn't help there. In the background behind me, just to, you know, and he does what, you know, any YouTube, like, he just talks while he's talks through what's going on in his mind, like why certain things are happening. Okay, there we go. And it was fun because it gives you some insight into, like, you can, if you watch this, you get some insight into what the levels look like and yada yada yada. But if you, the reason why I blather so much is to talk about... No, come on. Nope, there's another one right there. I was trying to get away from the first one to then regroup and attack. Anyway, but some of these things, you know, like when I'm sitting here in silence, you know, some of these things would be the type of thing that would be going through my head as I play it. So it's not just, oh, what does it look like to play the game? It's, you know, like, what are the thoughts? Like, okay, get through that door, retreat, regroup, heal up, try and get behind, you know, like the... Which might offer a little bit of insight into what's going on, besides just, I guess he hit a button that swung a sword that knocked the guy down. And with, you know, because, you know, I have an interest in... I don't have the time or, I guess, energy or stick-to-itiveness to play really heavy war games. I appreciate getting the... thoughts that might be going through your head. Like, he's really good at talking. He doesn't talk about a lot of other stuff the way I just blather about everything else. But he's really good about talking about, like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about this because of that, and then I think these guys need to move here, and the reasoning for that is X, Y, Z. And it makes me sort of appreciate what people who know how to play those kinds of games think about when they play. So I'm trying to figure out where's this hallway that I just died in. Not because I care about the souls, but because I want to see what else is there. It's interesting it didn't stay open. Can I... I was about to say, I wonder if there's any value in ranged weapons. The problem is that these guys, their most dangerous attack is ranged. But I don't know how limited the range is. Nope. Oh, I'm out of arrows. Crap. All right. There's one. These things just glow blue. They don't actually have it. Okay. I was gonna say it's not. They're not glowing because they have items inside. Oh, there he is. Okay. Oops. Lost track. Didn't lock on. Seems like it could be a shortcut, but it seems like it could be a very dangerous shortcut. Is this where I just came from? Apologies if I'm backtracking. I feel like I got turned around, and I apologize. Yeah. Is it, though? Can't remember if it's on the other side. The wall, I mean. No, I guess this is it. I was trying to remember which side had the wall and which side had the arches. No, this feels like the other side. Yeah, okay. Sorry, so let me just double check and see what's going on here. Or did I come this way a different time, and that's why when I was confused, the gate wasn't still open. That's why. Did I come from the other side, basically? All right, well, let's go see what's through that gate that we just opened. Anyway, so I'm not saying, like, go watch... Like, I mean, if you have an interest in, like, super heavy war games, then, yeah, go watch Callendale. But, but yeah, basically what we're doing with all of this... There's some rats. We're just trying to get behind that giant... Oh, I see. The giant crossbow death trap thing. Like I was saying, you can skip if you're good enough. By just doing the timing. And you saw, like, even again, I'm not great at these games, but I'm not unfamiliar with them. You saw that I was able to get past a couple. And then the nice thing is once you deactivate it, you're good. I think. I hope. I was trying to see if these were soldiers or escaped prisoners. It looks like it's a little bit of both. Can't tell. That guy's in soldier's outfit. Oh, clever rat's ring. Let me just check out what that does real quick. Oh, okay, so when you're hurt. Some people who are really good at this game use that as like a... pretty powerful... Oh, now this one seems... It's a woman, looks like, in sort of like the witch's outfit. Oh, I guess it's... I was saying, like, you could use this to get past it, but I didn't realize there was actually an item there that might be worth grabbing. Anyway, yeah, so now that trap's disarmed. And again, you know, even as a mediocre player, I was able to get past 2 or 3 of them. And if I just kept my head a little better and maintained the timing, because as you saw, like, I was off by a hair on one, and then you just sort of fall into trouble. I think I came from that way. Let me see what's this way real quick if I can. A locked door. Okay, so as we saw, there's a couple of staircases up. You definitely want to take... I don't know if this one matters so much, but I think the other one absolutely does. Now my fears is going to be one of those Mind Flayer Cthulhu monsters just waiting for me. Again, just like, holy crap. And this is the interesting thing. They're like, yeah, you know, the prisoners, when they get to the surface, they escape. Like, going up doesn't seem like it's going to be all that much better. But yeah, again, this level, even though I find it confusing because visually everything feels too indistinct from one another, I love this atmosphere. It's going to sound weird, but I feel like this... Like, the castle I love as a level and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't feel like... like hope is gone, the world is ending. This level, and interestingly enough for me, the mine, that's where we're headed to eventually. Capture both of those things perfectly. Oh, interesting. Imperial spy. Maybe that's from the castle. But what's also interesting is that, oh no, we already have a silver catalyst. Is that it had a catalyst. That the spy had a catalyst. Alright, so this one's better armor, better fire. Might be better everything. Except, oh, not poison, but again, I think we're good with poison, basically. Let's see what the weight. I feel like we got a little wiggle room on the weight. It's a touch heavier, but yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what the sort of lore is behind that. Sort of interesting, you know. Like I'm running straight and not really touching the stick, but sometimes it'll swing. Can I? No. Do I need to press a button to... Sometimes it mounts for me, sometimes... Okay, so that covers that, but you want to go up the other one, because that's going to help you with the boss for 3-1. Now, the other problem with everything looking distinct is that I don't recall... Where's the other... I don't recall, like, the shortcut, like, when I want to get back. When I inevitably die... I'm not 100% sure what the shortcut is through the prison to get back to that bridge, to make it a quick boss run. Okay, so now the reason why you definitely want to do this is, one, I think you can drop down and get some stuff, which maybe is worth it. Probably should be reading what these messages are hinting at. 2, I think you can, yeah, there's something you can get. 2, I think you can sort of drop behind some stuff that pops in, maybe. And 3, you want to get to this door. Hopefully I can open it. So you can see he's keeping some magic going, right? And if you kill him, the magic dissipates. Now, I don't know if you need to kill him every time, but obviously he's, you know, this is the boss room below us, so he was doing something. Aha. I wonder if that's Rydel's key. He's just saying that, you know, slime keeps the key to himself or something. Okay, so who's taking shots at me? That's the question. Yeah. Looks like She's an assassin garb as well. Right? She doesn't have the catalyst, but I feel like... Well, maybe not. Couldn't tell if the back of her armor had the same markings. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, a lot of Moonlight Stone going on here. So that's what made me wonder, like, what the optimal path is. If you know you want to do a certain build, do you hit 4-1, then 3-1? All right, let's see what we got going on. We might not need that. Is there anything that'll help us just defend ourselves? Harder to detect might be interesting. We definitely need that, obviously. I don't think we need any of those. I don't think we need fire. Magic could help, maybe, if there's magic resistance. I guess I'll put regeneration. It's so slow that I don't know if it's worth it for a boss fight, but, you know, maybe... How are we doing on grasses, though? That shouldn't be, well... I was going to say, that shouldn't be first. In a pinch, we need to... Nope. I was using it instead of putting it in the slots. How do I... See, I don't want to do any of those. I want to... Nope. How have I forgotten how to do this? Okay, well. I love this imagery. Assuming that's who the statue was. Okay, so this boss fight doesn't have to be impossible, but it's not necessarily easy. The main thing is, like, you want to hit... She's going to disappear in a second, I think. And you've got to hit the right one. Now, there's a way to tell which one's right, and that's what I'm blanking on. I don't recall... So I don't think this is it. So I'm looking for something to differentiate... Oops, crap. Okay. can't tell. I think I've already hit her. I'll try hitting her again just in case she changed places. Nope. I think the main one can cast a different spell. It's not her. Let's try her. They're worshiping her. Maybe that's it. Maybe they give it away. Anyway, the reason why you want to kill that guy up top is that I think he casts some kind of spell that protects her, so that I don't know if you can actually damage her. Maybe it's just harder to damage her. Maybe it heals her. I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like if you don't take care of the guy upstairs doing that magic, she has extra protections, and then this boss fight is very hard, if not impossible. So obviously we're going to clean up, make sure we don't miss any corners. I don't want to get too far up there because I think in a minute, just want to make sure I didn't miss too much. Because I think when I go over here, classic gargoyles float you up to the next part because we didn't think of a way to get you up there. I feel like there's a lot we could go back and, you know, we've got that key. We could probably quickly, but for right now, I'm gonna go back to the Nexus. We only got like 13,000 souls for that boss. I mean, you can see it wasn't too hard, but what do I need? 19,000. I feel like I probably have $7,000 in me. Yeah, there's a level right there.
No, don't
Nope.
mention it.
I don't want to talk to Patches.
Fine. I can't make you. No, I know you'll come back soon.
Thou seekest the power of then touch the demon inside. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
More health never hurts anybody.
Art thou finished?
So I'm trying one more new thing on OBS. I forgot to put in like the ProRes settings, so I'm trying to see So when I recorded the last session, it ended up being at like 290, something crazy, megabits per second or something. File size was a lot bigger than I thought. It was a 2-hour recording. It ended up being like 650 gigabytes, which is fine. But that tells me that it's probably too high of a quality. So now I'm trying what I'm hoping is regular ProRes 422 and seeing what that file size comes in at. But
it's simple. Just bring me all the souls you can. In trade,
that's
I'll give
either
you weapons.
neither here nor there.
Your souls.
Got enough for that.
You come back alive.
Let me drop off anything I might have picked up that I don't need.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings.
Nope. We can deposit these, I guess, right? Any weapons? Yeah, I picked up. What's a secret dagger? Okay. It's a good backstab weapon. Mercury rapier. Oh, that's nice. It's not just the spear that lets you attack with a shield raised. This one looks like it physical attack. I thought it would do. I thought there'd be a. I thought the mercury was a fire thing. Okay, deposit. Probably can deposit. Okay. Yeah. I'll keep what I'm working with. I'll deposit the other armor. I'll hang on to those because why not?
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
And there you go. All right, so why don't we stop there? We knocked down another section of the game. World 3-1 is done. I might poke back in just because I know there's a couple of prisoners there we might be able to unlock now that we've got that special key right at the end. But otherwise, again, Black Lodge Trivia Night. Subscribe to the actual plays and the podcast if you like audio only. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night. Or the actual plays, we record them and put them up here on YouTube. So check them out if that's your thing. And if not, there's going to be some more Demon Souls, and then I'll see what happens if another game... I'm going to clear my throat. What game might grab my attention next that I might put some up here if I continue doing this. So thanks again, and take care. Bye-bye.